Why are your fashion goals not working the way you want? According to Mikara Reid, which is moi, I'm Mikara Reid. Hey, image consultant stylist at me, and I'm going to give the top 5 signals or wardrobe, whatever you want to call it, but just 5 things that I consistently see within the people that I come across with my practice, as well as my inner circle of community. So number 1, is this you? You're overwhelmed with too many options. I totally get this because a lot of times I provide an exercise for my community. Yes, I provide exercises and they can get very excited or just start doing and doing and doing and doing. They set this goal, but yet now that you are here, you have gathered and collected all of this stuff, and now it's time for you to kind of sort out. So a rule of thumb, I like to kind of just set a number, being specific, similar to like time blocking. I like to kind of just set a number for you to find things, and then once you find it, you are going to be left to your devices to pick and choose what is a high priority, what is beneficial. There's just certain things I'm going to ask you to just unpeel the layer so that you can get the best of your personal fashion so that it can benefit you and not just be the it girl. Let's go on to number 2. Fear of failure or commitment. This is something that I came across in the beginning of my career when I was in fashion, but the more that I really honed in on what my niche was, commitment is something that I said something twice. Commitment is something that I value very high regard. So if you have a fear of commitment, I'm going to be able to indicate that in the beginning. But as far as you doing this on your own, that is something that you kind of have to talk through with yourself and identify what is the cause of you to fear the next thing from leveling up. What is causing you to delay your commitment? That is something outside of my control, and if you can't answer that, then I'm not able to answer it. Let's go on to the next one. Conflicting priorities. I'm gonna leave this very brief because it goes to number 1, but just always making a list and sorting out what is priority, high, medium, low, or maybe this month or maybe this quarter. You have to be specific. If you're not specific, you're not going to be productive or have that high performance. Let's go on to the next one. Unclear steps or strategies, which is what a lot of people come across when it comes to why they're hiring me, the image consultant stylist. But I'm here to help you kind of tone it down, break it up into pieces. Again, it's okay if you are the person that needs to have directions or needs to always be provided directions, but you also need to identify that and let that person know that. But if you are one of those people, it is always great, again, to set your priorities and also just write down what is the end goal. Once you write down the end goal, work backwards. Okay, you want to be taken very seriously as a businesswoman. Let's work backwards from there. What does this businesswoman look like? Is she wearing suits is she wearing suits every day, all day, every day? Is she wearing skirts every day, all day? What does this ideal? So if you have an unclear, you need to write down what is the end goal at the end of the tunnel and then work backwards from there. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is something I definitely don't come across a lot lately, but it's external influences and comparisons. I definitely came across it in the beginning of my career, but I'm not in the business of trends. But if you are someone that falls into that category, it definitely doesn't apply to just young people. There are mature, older people who fall into that. But if you fall into that, that is something that you kind of need to break away on your own. That is beyond my means. You need to get to the root of why do you always get influenced by what other people have to say when they are not the ones being benefited from that or your fashion. You're the one that's kind of dumbing yourself down or blocking your blessings. And if you feel like you speaking up is kind of, disrespecting your relationship, then maybe you need to reevaluate that relationship because, again, that's not benefiting them, that's benefiting you. And also the comparison things, do not ever let anyone steal your joy by comparing you to someone else. That is, to me, this is my opinion, that is like a backhand compliment when people compare you to something else. All right, so I hope you found this very, very helpful. Let me know down below if you fall into any of those categories. Definitely no judgment over here, but we want to know. I definitely want to know. Let's get into discussion.